Oh God. What is in here? Billions of probiotics. This is sauerkraut. I just learned recently how to make my own raw sauerkraut, and how easy is it to just put it on the side of whatever you're having for dinner, put it on top of tacos. But it is nutrient dense, and some have even said that it is more than 16 bottles of probiotics that you buy, depending on how you make it. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to make easy fermented raw sauerkraut, and I'm actually going to be doing cortado, because I want mine to be a little bit spicy, have a little bit more flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator really quick. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that everything is clean so there's no bacteria, because we are fermenting and we don't want to ferment bad bacteria. We want to ferment good bacteria. So when you get your cabbage, go ahead and save some of these leaves, because the outer leaves, because we're going to use these, and I'll show you what we're going to do with those in a little bit. I went ahead and chopped up my cabbage, and it was a big head of cabbage, so I just did half. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the bowl, and I'm going to kind of layer it, because what we're doing is we're using the salt method to ferment. I don't have a culture starter this time. This is Redmond's sea salt. If you use sea salt, Himalayan salt, Celtic salt, you want to make sure that you're getting a quality brand. So we're going to sprinkle just a little bit on top of the cabbage, and we're just going to mix that up. A little bit more. Kind of fun playing with it with your hands, you know, like you're in the sandbox playing with toys, except it's cabbage. Go ahead and put another layer. And the seasoning is really according to your taste. So when it's all said and done, you can taste it, and if it's good for you, you're done. And if not, you can add a little bit more salt. I do want mine to not break down completely. I like it really crunchy. So the more salt that you use, the more it will break down and it will get softer. Have you guys done this before? Have you made the cortado? I hope to goodness I'm saying that right. Or, you know, what other kinds have you made? Have you kept it raw? So all we're going to do is just kind of mix this for a second, and then we're going to set it to the side and leave it alone for about 30 minutes, because what's going on in here is this salt is going to start breaking it down, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it in a minute. I already have cut what's going in it. My carrots, a little bit of onion. I don't want the onion to be too overpowering. I'm going to try some jalapenos this time, and then I'm going to add a little bit of crushed red pepper. So let me get my hands washed. This has already been sitting for 30 minutes, and you can see how it is starting to glisten, and that is starting to create the brine. So what we're going to do right now, for 10 minutes, we are going to massage the cabbage, and that's going to help it to break down and get the brine that is going to cover it and help it to ferment while it is sitting on our counter over the next 5 days. So what you're going to do is first take your ring off, and I have already washed my hands. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go down and kind of like you're squeezing water out, and go to the next layer, and like just push it around so that you are getting all of that liquid out of the cabbage. You're not tearing it apart, you're just squeezing it. The last time I was doing this is I actually turned on a podcast. Turn on your favorite TV program, or take some time to meditate. You just want a lot of that brine, because this is going to need to come all the way to the top and cover. That's what's going to keep it from molding, being exposed to the air. And you can already see that brine is starting to pool. And we want a lot of that. If you traditionally don't like sauerkraut, I want to encourage you to try this kind. Being raw, it does have a different flavor profile. If you don't like cabbage, then I might not be able to help you. But if you do, I think you're going to like it. Okay, so the time has come. There is a lot of brine in the bottom of this. Wow, look at that liquid. It's great. And on it, this is all this is, just cabbage and the salt and us doing the work. Okay, so I'm gonna wash my hands and then we're gonna put in the rest of the ingredients and wrap up and then we will be done. Now I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of the pepper flakes on here. I don't want it too spicy, but I do want it to have a little bit of a kick. Put in the onions and the jalapenos, and then our carrots. And one more time, I'm just gonna give it a toss with my hands. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the jars, and I'm gonna get a spoon, which I'll explain why in a second. I didn't wanna have to keep washing my hands. So you're layering it because we are going to mash it down to get all of the air out of it. You don't want any air touching the cabbage. You can use your fist if you would like. I don't want to. So I bought this on Amazon. You're going to mash it down until the moisture covers the top. Okay, so you can see how the liquid is starting to come up and around the cabbage. And then you'll go ahead and continue to fill. Repeat. That reminds me of a joke. Pete and repeat were sitting on a fence. Pete fell off, who's left? Who's left? Repeat. Pete and repeat were sitting on a fence. Pete fell off, who's left?
Repeat.
Pete and repeat. Okay, covered. Next layer. Doing good things for our body. My last batch did not have quite as much water content. Okay, so we're going to take this leaf to put on top to be a barrier to make sure that all of this continuously stays under the brine. And it's so big, I just kind of squish it in there. And this might, yeah, it's too full, but that's okay. We're just gonna let it come on out. As we push this down, break that hard part off and then just fold it in. It doesn't matter if the top of this layer is exposed because we aren't going to eat it, but mine is not. So what you're gonna do on the top of that, I got these weights off of Amazon, and so this is going to make sure that this does not pop up. It's gonna weight that down. Again, I'm gonna lose a little bit, that's okay. I'll put it over there we go. And now we're gonna put the lid on. So what we have, this is called a pickle pipe, and what it does is it allows the gases to release out of the bottom, out of the top. So you're just gonna set that right on top. I have seen people use coffee filters, but I was told that these actually work better and less chance for mold and things like that. And then all you're gonna do is put your mason jar ring on there and just turn it to shut it. And now all we're gonna do is tuck it away on the counter and just ignore it for about 5 days. This one is gonna be ready tomorrow. But as you see, I have it in a container because the gases can tend to come up and then they're gonna ooze out, and that way it'll just catch the extra liquid and it's no big deal. So this is where mine has been sitting on my counter for the past 5 days. It can go between 5 and 7 days. I have read 3, but the majority that I have read has been between 5 and 7 days. At that point in time, it's just more of a matter of texture that you like. If you don't mind it breaking down a little bit more, you're just gonna have more fermentation, which is excellent. But I want mine to have a lot of crunch because I'm a crunchy girl. So I wanna thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys are doing to have optimal health. I've really enjoyed the comments that I have seen so far, and I've learned some stuff from you too. So that's why we're here for each other, to help each other learn, grow stronger and healthier every day. If you don't mind, take a moment to like and subscribe, hit that bell for more. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.